So we got some good news for all the atheists and agnostics and non-religious folks out there, which is probably majority of my audience, although I'm sure we have some religious folks in the audience. So Sahil Kapoor of NBC News says this: new Pew Research Study, Americans who identify as atheist, agnostic, or none have risen to 30% of the population. 30%. If current trends continue, they're projected to reach a majority by 2070. So look, the last time we covered this, I think the number was about 20%. Now we're at 30%. Now we're at 30%. So look at this. Look at this here. This is really interesting to me. Okay. So, in 1972, only 5% of the population, 5%, was atheist, agnostic, or just unaffiliated with a religion. 5%. Now, I'm sure the number was actually higher than that, but people lie because it was social convention to be religious, even if it's just, even if you keep it at arm's length. But 5% self-reported that. Now, it's been pretty much a steady increase from whenever this year was, maybe 1980 or something like that. It's been a steady increase. Now we're at 30%. So they did some projections here. If it keeps rising without limits, then by 2070 it'll be 52% of the population that is religiously unaffiliated. With some limits, they factored in 48%. Then they have what's called steady switching. Here's how they define that. Movement into and out of Christianity remains stable at recently observed rates. That is, in each new generation, 31% of Christians become religiously unaffiliated before they turn 30, and 21% of unaffiliated people become Christian. Okay, I see. So they're saying when you factor in the switching of people to Christianity and the switching of two people to religious non-affiliation, in that scenario, 41% of the public by 2070 would be non-religious. And then if everything just stayed the same effectively, they say this scenario imagines no person in America has changed or will change their religion after 2020. 34% would be unaffiliated. I guess they just factor in population growth there to get it from 30 to 34%. But look, that is interesting. So I have some more stuff here from the article for you. U.S. Christians projected to fall below 50% of population if recent trend continues. So in 1972, 90% of the country was Christian. 90%. In 2020, it's down to 64%. That's a big fall off. For as long as I can remember, the number was, I thought, about 70%, but it's 64%, and that's of 2020. It's probably gone down a little bit since then, whatever it is in 2022, right? That's really something. I think I have a couple more charts here for you. Oh, there's the one that we saw before. I think I have one more for you, where they map out the potential scenarios here. So here's one scenario, the steady switching scenario. Christians by 2070 are just 46% of the population, unaffiliated 41%. Wow. Here's another one where you have rising disaffiliation with limits, 48% unaffiliated, 39% Christian. And again, 12 is other religions. This line down here is just all the other religions. You could factor them all in. So, look, in atheism, agnosticism, non-religiosity, probably anti-theism too, all this stuff is on the rise, man. All of it's on the rise. Now, it's an interesting question when you get to why. Why is this happening? And I don't know. It's too complex a question to answer without hard empirical data. But it's probably hard to come by empirical data on the nuanced reasons why many people become unaffiliated. I mean, just to give some potential ideas as to what can be happening, I've always believed that with the rise of technology comes a decrease in, magical thinking or belief in the supernatural, because, science and technology has gotten us to a point where you basically have all the information that's available in the world at your fingertips at any given moment with your smartphone or with your iPad or with your computer. I mean, it's hard to, when you can research anything like that, if you're just curious about it, it's kind of hard to hold on to any sort of magical beliefs because you could just look into whatever you're curious about. And, you can't hide the fact now that there's over 4,000 religions in the world. Are people really naive enough and selfish enough to believe that they happen to be born in the one true correct religion? Look, I understand people who might be might be a deist. A deist is somebody who believes in a god, but it's just like this vague notion of like a higher power. It's not tied to any particular religion. I can understand that mindset. But I find it hard to believe in the modern age that almost anybody is really a theist, where they think, not only do I believe in a god, it is the god of a particular religion, and we know X, Y, and Z about that god. And we know that Jesus is the Son of God, and we know, like, that you're getting goofy when you get to that point, right? And so I think that over time, science and technology has gotten us to the point where people can't really hold on to those beliefs, even if they want to, you know? I mean, maybe some people go through the motions culturally because they're raised in that environment, but they still might say to a pollster, I don't really believe in it, I just go through it because this is what my family's always done. So that's one thing. Look, there are other more darker reasons why people might be turning away from religion. We have incredible income and wealth inequality, and we have, an economy that's difficult for at least 85% of Americans. Some polls, 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. When you don't have material well-being, and when you're struggling, it's easy to feel like there ain't no higher power looking out for me. Like, my life's in shambles. Things are not going well. I don't feel like there's any higher path or higher plan or some omnipotent being who's doing right by everybody or whatever. So there could be some dark reasons as to why people are becoming non-religious. There could be intellectual reasons why people are becoming non-religious. It could be the consistent implosion of religious institutions. The Catholic Church with their mass pedophilia scandal. We learned recently, what was the other branch that just got caught in a mass sex abuse and pedophilia scandal? Was it Protestants? I don't remember. It was another branch of the church, a big branch of the church that was found in one of these scandals. I mean, the oldest scam of all time is religion. And I guess people are catching on to it. And it's just like, it's time. We're outgrowing it. Society is outgrowing religion. I would never begrudge people who just hold on to it because it makes them feel good and it helps them be a good person. I would never begrudge somebody that. If it helps you out and it makes you do good things, God bless, right? But I think most people don't need it, and that is becoming the reality now. And it's only going to move more and more in this direction as time moves forward. There is a clear march towards secularization in the same way that there's a march towards social liberalism, So why you see the acceptance of gay rights, for example. You see the polls on abortion are very solidly pro-choice. I think that this is also part of that trend as well. So anyway, there you have it. Very interesting numbers, and it's only going to grow more and more, man. Atheism rising, agnosticism rising, religious unaffiliation rising. You love to see it. All right, guys, that's the show, y'all. That is the show. So let me tell all you guys, if you haven't yet, check out the Kyle Kulinski Show on your favorite podcasting app, because it is now available there. You get the full shows daily. So I know some of you are podcast people over YouTube people, and now you have the option to listen on the podcast. So enjoy that. I know I do every now and then when I want to check for mistakes and whatnot. I'll listen back on Spotify, and then it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to have the show in a different forum now as well. So check that out if you haven't yet. Everybody who's watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe to the videos and click that bell notification so you get notified every single time a video drops. That definitely helps in the algorithm. When you comment, that helps in the algorithm as well. So thank you to everybody who partakes in the community here. It really means a lot to me. I really appreciate that. And of course, if you love the show, then consider supporting on Patreon. So the link will be in the video description box below. Thank you to everybody who already is a patron. You guys make the show work. I love you to death. I've literally never once in my life, about a decade of doing this show, I've never once had a conversation with an advertiser, and I'm very proud of that fact. And the only reason that is possible is because you guys support the show, small dollar donations. That's the best way to make it go. So thank you so much to everybody who is a patron. If you're not, please consider being a patron. And thank you also to the Kyle and Friends supporters over on Substack. Similar deal going on over there. Crystal and I have never talked to an advertiser. We've never read an ad. But you guys support the show $5 at a time. And if you give that $5, you get our newsletters, and then you also get the videos of the show a day early. So again, thanks to everybody. Everybody else can listen. If you don't want to pay, that's okay. I still love you. You can listen for free to the full audio version of the show. So you can check that out. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Peace. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.